Ange, Rob and Robbo.
Streaming live across the globe, Angeli Rao, Rob McKnight and David Robinson.
Ange, Rob and Robbo. News and views, entertainment too. It's the Ange, Rob and Robbo. Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome indeed for another big edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. And guess what? We've got a very big announcement coming up that will change the show forever. I promise you that. Things will never be the same. But unfortunately, Ange and Robbo are not here to hear that announcement tonight. We've got two ring-ins, and what lovely ring-ins they are. We've got Sarah Monahan, a good favourite of ours, and Jason Roses has stepped up from the bench on entertainment and he's joining the main game. Hello team. Sarah, how are you? Coming to us all the way from Texas tonight.
Texas, yes, and it's actually chilly, even though it's already spring, and it's very, very early. It's still dark outside.
And Jason, it's been pretty cold in Canberra, hasn't it, where you are?
It's freezing. It's raining outside. I'm cold. I'm in this empty shed, but I'm here to do the show.
What I love, and people picked up on this the other night when you were doing entertainment, is that you are in a studio, but for some reason they decided to install a tin roof in this studio so you can hear the rain hammering down.
Yeah, when it's raining, it's just you can hear everything. And then there's a guy outside who's concreting. I'm like, you've got to stop. The show's about to start.
Oh, I love it. Hey, before we move on, Bruno is here and we're talking to the eliminated contestant from Big Brother, but I'm not sure if that has actually finished yet, so I won't mention who it is. But we will say that our first feedback tonight came from Gay Wright, who said, hi all. So thank you, Gay. We appreciate you jumping on the feedback first. We like to get your feedback each and every night here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. As I said, a lot coming up, but first of all, let's get into those hot button issues. And an Instagram influencer has faced a public backlash after putting her dog down. Nikki Philippi explained that her dog Bowser had been a loyal friend for 9 years, but was also known to have an aggressive side. But when the dog bit her son Logan, she knew she had to act and decided to have the dog put down. But many of her followers have criticised that decision, saying the dog should have been rehomed. Jason, what do you think about this one? The dog did show it couldn't be trusted.
Yeah, this to me is heartbreaking. I mean, this is an Instagram influencer that has 440,000 followers. Surely there was another option. Surely she could have put it out to her followers to say, look, this dog, it's not suited to my home. I believe they just had they've got a young child, so the dog was showing aggression. But surely there's other things that you can do than decide to put your dog of 9 years down. I mean, to me, it's a disgrace. I am a dog lover. I have 2 dogs. Surely there are other options. It could have been rehomed. It could have been taken to a kennel. Someone could have loved it and cared for it. But to say to your dog of 9 years, I'm going to put you down. Sorry, your time's up. I say shame on the influencer, shame on the lady who made the decision. I understand you can't have a violent or an aggressive dog in your home, particularly if you've got young kids, but she had other options. This is what frustrates me. There are other things she could have done, not just gone straight to, it's your time to go.
Sarah, I'm going to let you jump in before I say something because, Jason, I completely disagree with you. Sarah, you first.
Yeah, I had a very, very aggressive Chihuahua, and she was only 10 pounds, so she was a couple kilos, but and she took blood from people. But the thing is, with a bigger dog, and I've been bit by a dog as a kid, and I totally agree that they could have rehomed it. Maybe they could have, had training for it. And she said that it was aggressive from the beginning, so she probably should have worked better to have training done. But the problem is she did rehome it, and then that dog turned around and very aggressively hurt someone or God forbid, they actually killed a child, they would have come back to her and said, you knowingly rehomed an aggressive, violent dog, and now someone's dead. And so I think that's the conundrum that she's in, because yes, maybe she could have, it said that she had a discussion about it. But, I think you have to put your human child first. And so there was, obviously they had to not have the dog in the home anymore. And maybe she could have done more to find it a home. Or maybe they decided it was 9 and I don't know how long that breed of dog lives. Maybe it was already had health issues anyway. But yeah, I think that she probably thought, if I did give it away and it hurt someone else worse, then it'll come back on her, or she'll feel terrible because she knowingly put an aggressive dog out there.
Look, I agree with you, Sarah. And here's the thing, Jason. I think this is actually a dog owner taking responsibility, and I applaud it. The problem here is good intentions are one thing, but the reality of a dangerous dog is another. Just here where I live, my girls were out walking our dog just across the road. We had the door open. We were watching them. It was afternoon. It shouldn't have been a problem at all. A dog that was an abused dog and was being cared for by these lovely people actually escaped and started attacking our dog, with my 2 young girls holding the dog. It was a walk, literally. We have a park right across from where we live. And they were there being attacked, scared witless, and a neighbour actually had to come and punch the dog to get the dog to stop attacking. It was scary. It was dangerous. Now, what that owner did, after all this went down, he actually paid our medical bills for the dog. The dog actually had serious injuries that had to have surgery, and this guy paid for those injuries and then put the dog down. And I thought that was the good thing to do. These people had the best intentions of the world. They wanted to do a rescue dog. They wanted to look after them. They wanted to retrain them. It's not always possible, and even if you think you're giving it to people who can look after it, they can escape. And if they are dangerous, I'm sorry, human beings come before dogs. And I love dogs. We have a dog here. We're looking after Abby's dog as well at the moment. We're overrun by dogs and cats in this house, in the McKnight house. But at the end of the day, if it comes between a human and an animal, the human has to come first.
I'm disagreeing with you. It's not. Are we now saying that the dog owners, they're the ones that can decide if they've got a dangerous dog, and they're the ones that can decide if it's put down? For me and a lot of people, dogs are like kids. I'm sorry.
Of course.
If you raised I'm sorry. If you raised a kid into this world and the kid was aggressive, we can't go and give that kid up or put that kid down. You have to, work with that child. You have to train them. Well, in the States
we do. They have the death penalty.
Okay, that's a bit extreme. We're in Australia.
Amanda agrees with you. I heard the audible. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Every time you see a pedophile, they're like, well, we put dogs down. Why can't we put them down? So, apparently people do agree with putting bad people down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, dogs are like kids. We can't just start giving the responsibility to these dog owners to say, if you've got an aggressive dog, you make the decision. I put this on my Instagram, and I had a lady reach out to me saying, I had a dog that bit my child and it actually wasn't the dog's fault. So are we now going to say that, the judge and the jury is going to be the parent of these dogs? I completely disagree. It's not up for us to decide.
If that dog kills a kid, it is the responsibility of the owner.
I agree. If a dog viciously attacks or kills a kid, but if a dog is biting or the owner thinks, maybe my dog's aggressive, what's going to start happening if we let the floodgates open is that people who own animals are going to think, oh, maybe my dog's a bit aggressive, or it bit me on the finger, I'm going to put it down. There's going to be no clear line in the sand.
Here's the thing. I will say you sway me. Sometimes kids do the wrong thing by dogs and they bite back, and I agree with you on that, actually, Jason. If a kid's got its hands down a dog's throat and, and the dog snaps, fine, But the problem is if the dog actually does attack and take skin off and all that kind of stuff, we are in a different category. And I know people love their animals and their fur babies and everything like that. But, I saw some feedback from Claire. And she said, we often hear complaints about owners not being irresponsible, but now here's one making a very hard and brave decision, and it's still not good enough. And she's absolutely right. Here's a woman who, this dog had been with them for 9 years. This was not an easy decision. This wasn't just, we'll get rid of the dog. This was heartbreaking. I don't think we should be turning on her when she's trying to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, there is a difference between dogs and kids. All right, let's move on, because the war between former CEO Christine Holgate and Australia Post has escalated, with the company demanding Holgate make any settlement public. The two parties will sit down for mediation soon, and Australia Post says the outcome should be made public due to the public interest in the case. Sarah, what do you think? Is this fair enough? Shouldn't any settlement be a private matter?
Is the government paying it out? Or is it a private company paying it out?
Australia Post is a government company that makes its own money. So, and the franchisees are all privately owned. So it's a messy and it's complicated, but yes, it does fall under government jurisdiction, I believe.
I mean, I think if it's taxpayer dollars, then the people have a right to know. The public has a right to know. But I think if it's private, or if it's shareholders, and the shareholders have a right to know, but not necessarily like splash it all over the newspaper.
But Jason, this seems like a ploy to me, like Australia Post saying to her, don't go for too much because we're going to embarrass you in public. You know, this woman was treated so badly. She was doing an amazing job at Australia Post. She bought $20,000 of watches. And here's the thing, in Senate's estimates the other day, Pauline Hanson went to the Australia Post people, and she said, so you think it's bad that Christine Holgate spent $20,000, but you have spent $500,000 on a gala night. So they hold this ball to give out awards to employees, and they spent $500,000, and Christine Holgate got called out by our Prime Minister for spending $20,000 when that was a reward for these people making millions of dollars.
Well, and Rob, to put into perspective, I agree with you. I mean, in fact, the $20,000 was given as a part of a $200 million revenue raise that Australia Post did, a deal they made with the bank. So in my eyes, $20,000 to reward $200 million coming in. I mean, and this is a woman who increased sales by 7%. She increased revenue by 15%. I think the net profit for Australia Post last financial year, it was $53 million. It was up $12 million. She was doing her job, and quite frankly, she was doing a really good job. Yeah. I think the fact that these presents, it was Cartier. I mean, in my industry, we give people bottles of wine as a thank you. If it was a wine, would it have been different? She was doing her job. I agree. She was embarrassed. And this is further, I guess what they're trying to do now is to further embarrass her, to say, okay, if you want to ask for however much you're asking for, we want to be able to tell the Australian public. And I don't think it's right. They owe her an apology. She was doing the right job. She was making Australia Post great. You know, she was increasing their bottom line, and they basically thrown her to the curb.
Couldn't agree more with you, Jason. And this is the thing. She is now a private citizen. This is an appalling way she was treated, and I do think the settlement should be private. What are we getting out of it? We get to know what she got. Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, she deserves every penny she gets, and Australia Post is all the worse off for losing her. Sorry, Sarah, I just missed what you said.
I said, in that case, it's really not any of our business how much money she makes. And the fact that she made Australia Post profitable while every other country is like even the USPS is going bankrupt because everybody does email or UPS or FedEx. So, you know, power to it. And everyone likes watches. Why would you not give away a watch? It lasts forever.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on, because Rolling Stone has released a list of the best 100 sitcoms of all time. But a list like this was always destined to come with controversy. But the biggest controversy wasn't over the rankings, but rather a couple of shows which made the grade, including The Cosby Show. Some say the 80s sitcom should not have been included because its star, Bill Cosby, was eventually unmasked as a serial sexual predator. There's no doubt the show was an important cultural phenomenon in the day. So should it be judged on its achievements, or do the backstage controversies play a part? Jason, what do you think about this one? Can we separate the art from what happened in real life?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one because obviously what Bill Cosby did was outrageous and, I certainly don't agree with it. But you got to remember this was a show that, culturally millions of people fell in love with. There were hundreds of people that worked on this show. So, to the people that worked on the show, we're kind of saying to them, we're not going to recognise what you did. We're not going to recognise, the time and the effort and the energy you put into making this show great. Yes, what one of their stars, a major star, did was terrible, but we can't go and cancel an entire show and basically say to the hundreds of people that worked on that show, all your work was for nothing because of one person.
Yeah. Sarah, this is a question that really, I just realised, is close to your heart. You obviously went through the whole thing with Robert Hughes, and now people don't touch Hey Dad at all. It's never mentioned. Does that make you sad that the work is forgotten?
Yeah, I mean, I had very conflicted feelings when, the Hey Dad thing all first went down. And then, like, a couple of years later, I'm like, but there was so many other people that worked on that show. And now we're, like, kind of scrubbed from history. And it's like, why do, Simone and Ben and Chris and, all the crew have to suffer because one dickhead decided to molest a bunch of kids? It's not really fair on everybody else because you have to... I mean, I'm the first person who doesn't want to watch a Woody Allen or a Roman Polanski movie. But at the same time, I think they shouldn't be allowed to make more films. But I think that the past work, if it's good, should still be recognized for what it was.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, to me, it's a very hard concept. But I mean, it was a very important show of its time. There wasn't that many, African-American comedies, and it was very important to a lot of people. I take more issue with the fact that Schitt's Creek was not 100 on that list and not further up.
Yeah, I didn't agree with the list, and they also claimed that Billy Crystal played the first gay character in the world. Sorry, America. The world is outside of America, and we had number 96 a long time before Billy
and
Crystal.
They only had American shows and a handful of Canadian and British shows. And it's like, so you didn't include any Australian shows. You only did a handful of a couple of other shows.
I don't mind that. Our shows
nothing exists outside their borders.
Yeah, we didn't transcend into the American culture or the psyche, so I don't have a problem with that. But when you make a claim that you had the first gay character in the world when you didn't, that's a problem. Sarah, would you watch The Cosby Show again? If Netflix had it on, would you watch it?
I mean, no, it's still on TV here on cable. And no, I don't really watch it. But I don't like Bill Cosby even before the whole thing. I just didn't find his humor funny.
See, I did, and I've even got one of his comedy albums, and it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And I've got to say, I probably would watch the show again because I do think there is a big difference between what we see on screen and what happens behind the scenes. Throw him in jail, lock away the key. The allegations against him are appalling. Do everything that we can to stop that ever happening again and make him pay. But the thing he made was still great, and you've stopped a revenue stream. I know that you never got residuals for Hey Dad, but the Cosby Show cast did, and so the man who played Theo in the show said, the money that I used to make from the show is gone now because no one will air the show. Now, it's interesting that they've started airing it again on some cable channels, but it is a big problem for the actors that rely on residuals. That gets them through the tough times in their acting careers.
Yeah, and there's a lot of child stars that do make a lot of money if they were on something popular. But then in the child star group that I'm in, we also make fun that we'll post up, the checks, and it's like, they got 27 cents in residuals for, the year. So it may vary how much they make. Yeah, it's not that much.
All right. Now, I need to talk to you all because tonight is our 181st show. And as we approach the big 200, the time has come to make some changes to our little show. Now, as you know, schedules are becoming so chaotic, it's currently rare to have all three of us together on the panel. Ange is shooting tonight The Real Housewives of Melbourne for Foxtel, and Robbo continues to present the breakfast radio program for ABC Sunshine Coast. In fact, he's been tied up with the ABC today, which is why he had to pull the plug on doing tonight's show. Add to that my own schedule and that of Abby and Amanda, and we've realised we all need to pull back a bit. So, from next week, the Ange, Rob and Robbo show will become a once-a-week show at the new time of Thursday, 8 o'clock. Now, look, we know there will be people disappointed by this news, but we hope you understand why this needs to happen. We love making the show and we want it to continue for a long time. But there are only 6 people involved in putting together this show each day, and that includes the 4 presenters. When you compare that to something like Channel 10's The Project, which has a production team of 60 people, I think you can see why we need to make this change. I do believe we put on a show worthy and comparable to primetime television, but it's a lot of work to do that. Now, Ange and Robbo really wanted to be here for this announcement, but weren't able to be here tonight. So they've both sent along a video message. Here's Robbo first.
Well, hello there, everyone. Can I just ask you, what's better than 4? I'll tell you, 1. How exciting we're going to be moving to once a week next week for the Ange, Rob and Robbo show, and I am very pleased, very excited. It's going to be a bigger, better, more wonderful show than you've ever seen before, and I can't wait. See you next week.
You'll actually see him tomorrow, but you know, Robbo, details. And here's the message from Ange.
Hi everyone. So I guess you've heard by now that we are going to once a week for the next little while, and as much as I'll miss each and every single one of you, yes, even you, Rob and Robbo, we'll be back every Thursday night. Bigger, better, with more news, views, entertainment, and who the hell knows what else too. I hope you will join us for that. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I'll miss you every single second. Until then, lots of love.
Yes, Ange will be back. I was going to say she will be back Monday. I'm still not in the habit yet. She'll be back on Thursday, hopefully. And people are already asking some questions about it. Look, send your questions through. I will answer them in the feedback. But one of the questions I just saw was, will it be a longer show on Thursdays? Yes, it will. We don't know the duration at this point because we're still literally working out the format. This has happened very quickly. But once we made the call, we just thought, let's do it. So, Jason, do you think it'll be the same being once a week?
I think it will be the same. I think we can deliver something more exciting, a lot more topics, a lot more news, a lot more entertainment. Because I guess, you know, every day, sometimes not exciting things happen. So I guess we can condense it all into once a week. And I say the best shows happen once a week anyway. It means you guys can all wait for us and be excited and, you know, just... Yeah.
Is that your way of saying each week we do 4 shows, 3 of them are crap?
No, man. When I'm on, they're amazing.
Oh, look. No. It's all good. And look, it's a tough call. We genuinely love doing this show, and I think that if we could do it 4 nights a week and do it as our main job, we would. But at the moment, with COVID and everything else, we haven't been able to fully monetize the show, and that's what we need to focus on. And the other things that we do, as you all know, I do TV Black Box, I do Monsters Who Murder, and we're now doing a video version of the Monsters Who Murder Serial Killer Confessions podcast. And I'll do a quick plug. Go to mwm.uscreen.io if you want access to that, because it actually looks really good. But we're excited about what we're going to do. Bruno will be on every Thursday. Joe Casamento will be on every Thursday, and lots of great guests. You know, we always get great guests. And just quickly glancing at the feedback, I can see that you're all being very supportive of this, but ask your questions. I will answer them if I can in our feedback. feedback section. All right, Bruno is just around the corner and tonight's eliminated guest from Big Brother. But first of all, let's check out the other stories making news on this Wednesday, the 5th of May, 2021. And a new locally acquired case of coronavirus has been reported in New South Wales. The man in his 50s is from Sydney's east and has been very active in the community. He visited a number of venues across Sydney while potentially infectious in Bondi Junction, Rushcutters Bay, Silverwater, Annandale, Casula and Mascot. New South Wales Police have carried out night raids in relation to the kidnapping at gunpoint of Australian Test cricketing great Stuart MacGill. Police say MacGill was held for an hour before being released, and it's alleged one of those involved was the brother of MacGill's recent partner, Maria O'Meara. While the alleged kidnappers wanted money, police say no money actually changed hands, and MacGill didn't report the crime for a week because he was scared. 3 other men have also been charged. Officeworks has removed Apple AirTags from sale over concern about the accessibility of its button battery. The small device is used to attach to things like keys and emits a beep when you're looking for them. According to The Australian, the retailer says it wants to consult with Australia's consumer regulator about its safety. At issue is whether children could open the back of an AirTag and access its small round CR2032 battery easily and potentially swallow it. And New South Wales politics has descended into chaos, with Liberal MP Natasha McLaren-Jones only lasting as president for 90 minutes before she was replaced. Matthew Mason Cox, another Liberal, was elected president of the New South Wales Upper House during a chaotic session in the chamber that saw MPs hurling insults at each other.
Order! I call this House to order and I ask the Honourable Peter Primrose to resume his seat immediately.
No! What are you going to do?
Order!
What are you going to do? You're not
I'm trying to give the call to your leader.
Hey!
Take your seat!
Crazy. Now Premier Gladys Berejiklian says she wants Mason Cox sacked for breaching party rules and taking the job away from the Liberals' preferred candidate. Now to tomorrow's weather, and Cairns can expect a sunny day and 29 degrees. It'll be a partly cloudy day in Brisbane. Sydney will have rain before becoming windy with a chilly 21. Canberra can expect a shower or two. It'll be a mostly sunny day in Melbourne and 19 degrees, and a partly cloudy day in Hobart and Adelaide, while showers will be increasing in Perth. Alice Springs is heading for a mostly sunny day and a top of 26, and Darwin will also be sunny. Well, the twists and turns continue on Big Brother, and tonight the housemates pulled off a massive blindside. And I've got to say, really sad news, Carlos was the casualty. But what is their loss is our gain as he joins us now on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. Hello, Carlos.
Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm very good. Guess what? I'm like this all the time, and I don't drink coffee.
Oh my god. I love coffee. I drink coffee. I'm looking for my next coffee right now. No?
Do you know what, though? I would have tried my best to get you that coffee, even if I wasn't, because it was one of the best moments, the scary karaoke, obviously, and you had that pavlova. How would you rate your Big Brother experience?
Oh my god. Do you know what? It's so funny. Oh my god. Do you know what? I remember that I put my hand inside that box and I was feeling that was maybe the mouth of an animal. You know, feeling wet in one side, wet in the other side, and in the middle I was feeling like a tongue. Was really, really disgusting. I was like, oh my god, what is that? Yeah, and at the end they told me, no, it's a pavlova, and I will go, oh my god, pavlova.
I have to say, the cutest moment just then was watching you watch yourself on the screen. You were sort of like, that's me on the TV. Beautiful moment. Just came to me a lot of memories of my childhood, my time in high school, my time in primary school, time with my friends and my family, and of course in my country, in Colombia. So, you know, it's a lot of feelings inside. And always in little, I'm celebrating. I'm like, yeah! Well, you should be celebrating. You did a great job, but I'm intrigued. We just mentioned the coffee. How did you feel that time when you had to throw the coffee in the grinder? So you thought you had been given a whole bag of coffee, and there you are, and Big Brother said, this is my house, and you have to put it in the grinder. What was that moment like?
Terrible, man. Terrible for me. But really, really hard and difficult is... I was waiting for a coffee already. That was day number 3, I think so. I don't remember which day it was. It was 3 or day number 4, something like that. Mm-hmm. And normally I drink coffee every day coffee. So I was waiting for my coffee, and okay, let's fight for my coffee. Big Brother was so, gentle and say, Carlos, you're going to have your coffee. Come on, this is for you. This is my house. That's for you. It's a present. I was so excited, and feeling the coffee in my hands, putting the coffee in that place, putting the espresso machine in that place, in that machine, literally destroy all my dreams. Big Brother showed me in that moment that he can destroy our dreams in 1 second. And I was like,
I love this bit. I love this bit when you started sniffing the coffee in the air.
You don't have idea. Everything was smelling like a coffie. Even the plant, everything was a coffee around. Like, oh my God, coffee! It's coffee around. Oh my God, you don't have idea. I was even sniffing my clothes after that because my clothes was with a lot of coffee around. So I got, oh my coffee. Anyway, yeah, funny moment.
I swear, you are such a joy to speak to. I've got the biggest my mouth is hurting from smiling just talking to you, and I just can't believe you're out of the house. But look, you seem to understand the reasons why you were nominated. Let's have a look at what you had to say in the eviction ceremony.
Why do you think you've been nominated?
The house, from my point of view, the house is divided like in 2 groups. And I was in the middle, literally no here, just I was playing with my heart because I love Jess, I love Marley, I love Katie. I was playing with my heart, but I didn't take any position. I was just floating. But in this game, you cannot play with your heart. You have to play with your mind.
Carlos, is that why you think you've been nominated, because you're floating?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it was a real moment of self-realisation, Carlos, but was it too little too late? Do you wish you'd played the game differently?
You know what? Let me tell you something. At that moment, how I can tell that? My close person in the house was SJ. So because I was with SJ, really close. I was with SJ group, so yeah, my heart was with SJ group, but SJ left, so literally I was almost alone. Yeah. The next person that I have in my, around me, next to me, okay, of course I'm so close with Sid, really close with Sid, but Sid as well was in the middle. So, but the next person that I was loving too much was Melissa. And Melissa is with Danny and Nick. I don't like Danny. I don't like Nick. I don't find funny the jokes of Nick. But I love Melissa. I love Melissa. So because I love Melissa, because I love Melissa, I say to Melissa, you know what? I will support you, Melissa. Oh my God. I will support you. Oh my God.
Stop watching the screen, Carlos.
Wow. No, this is going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. My Latin American blood is going up.
Can I jump in? Because you just then, you seem in a bit of emotional turmoil. It seems watching that eviction speech has thrown you a bit, and you're feeling some real emotion from that. Am I misunderstanding that?
It's a lot of it's emotional moment for me, because I didn't want to leave so early. So I was really upset, really upset. like I was telling in the video, my heart for my personality, how Carlos is. I am with Jess and Marley because they are similar to me, and Katie, similar to me. We think similar, these kind of things. Strategically, Danny and Tilly and Danny, Tilly are the people that, and Melissa are the people that I have to be at that moment,
Yeah.
So it was a hard decision for me. It was a really, really hard decision, really difficult moment. I didn't move my pieces really quick, and I was so upset. I'm regretting a lot of things. So if I can do, or if I can change few situations, I will do it. It's really sad. I'm watching myself there. It's like wow. Wow, it's a lot of memories.
Carlos, here's what I'm going to say to you. You are a very genuine person. That came through on the show. It's certainly coming through in this interview. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You have nothing to regret. You went into the house with good intentions. You didn't screw anyone over. You were a true, genuine person. And talking to you tonight has just been an absolute joy. So, yes, you've got to remember, it's a game. All of those people in there are trying to win. And unfortunately, if you had been in one of the earlier series on Channel 10 or Channel 9, you probably would have won it. But the problem is, this game, in this iteration of the show, is about strategy. And you know what? I think it's actually quite nice you didn't have the strategy. You're a nice guy, so don't worry about that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a nice experience. It was a nice experience for me. I enjoy a lot. I have a lot of fun. I met a lot of people. I will have friends forever. It's my Big Brother family. I'm a winner. Actually, I have to see the positive side.
Yes.
Always I'm looking for the positive side. And let me tell you something. I am a winner of this Big Brother 2021. You know why? Because I danced with Sonia. Who danced with Sonia? Carlos danced with Sonia. I'm so lucky. None of them danced with Sonia. I have the opportunity to dance with that amazing woman, with Sonia. So please, I'm a winner. That's it.
No one can ever take that away from you. And you know what? You have done something many people want to do and they don't get to, and that's go into the Big Brother house. You are a legend. Well, the show will continue, unfortunately, without Carlos. Big Brother continues Sunday night at 7 o'clock and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 7. Carlos, thank you so much for being on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. You are a winner, my friend.
Yeah.
I can't believe he actually, Sarah and Jason, he actually got a bit teary there.
Oh, Carlos, eres tan amable. Estoy saludándote con un café ahorita. He's gorgeous. He makes me want to binge watch the whole show. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm going to binge watch all of the episodes today because he was adorable.
It's great.
He's going to do really well outside of Big Brother, even if he left early.
I was going to say, it is very emotional. Having been on Big Brother, I know when I'm rewatching a lot of the old episodes, you do get teary because it's this experience, this world that you get dragged into. And he's right, you have these friendships that are going to last forever and their family. And you do look back, though, with a sense of, oh my gosh, that was this exciting part of my life, and throw me back into it. But, you know that it's never going to happen again. So I guess when you do watch back, you do get emotional, you get teary, and it is sad.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. You know what? We promised him and he's here. It's time to go down the rabbit hole with our good friend Bruno Boucher. Hello, hey, Bruno.
Hey, gang. How's it going?
Oh, always better for seeing you, Bruno.
Hey, I forgot to tell everyone that during the break a few weeks ago, Rob and I caught up in Sydney, and I brought along a very special guest to surprise you. I promised you I was going to wrangle someone up, and I wrangled up Bo Ryan and John Ibrahim to hang out. That was a fun hang, wasn't it?
It's very true. You know what? Can I just tell you, Bruno, I didn't say this to you. As we were walking out, you said someone's joining us, and I went, it's going to be Bo Ryan, because Bo and I have been cheeky with each other other on social media. He had a go at me about some commentary I said on the Daily Mail, and he's a really good guy. So we had a great catch up, and then Bruno just, I'll introduce you to John Ibrahim. Oh, as you do. Okay.
Good times had by all, I think.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. And now, Bruno, now that we're on once a week, I can come and bug you lots of time because I can come down to Sydney now.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait. Because the office that I work in looks like a bikie clubhouse, right? It's sort of got that feel about it. So everyone's always welcome to swing on past and hang.
Maybe I'll have to do an episode from there with the once a week.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of room. Yeah, actually, that'd be good fun doing it from there.
Absolutely.
It could be the Rob and Rando show.
Good idea.
Bruno, what are we talking about tonight?
Okay, so listen, you guys being celebrities, I want to know, have you blocked many people on social media, or I'll flip it around, have other celebrities blocked you guys on social media as far as you know?
Oh, I've blocked plenty.
I've definitely blocked. Yeah, I've blocked a lot. Like my old friend Bryce off Maths, I blocked him. I blocked his wife. And then I blocked anyone else that was kind of like friends with them because I just didn't want to see their stuff in my news feed. And then he went and posted about me on his Instagram the other day. And if they're not blocked, I then get alerted, and he's put some stuff about me on his Instagram story because he's still obviously in love with me. So I blocked Bryce, I blocked his wife.
So, Jason, oh my God, sorry, Bruno, he's dropping some tea here. The feud is on.
Fantastic.
There is a definite feud between you and Bryce.
Well, he's still like, can we just say something? Like, the show's done and dusted, and then I get all these screen snapshots from my loyal followers being like, he's posting about you, and it was a photo with me that wasn't very flattering, and he's like, we're not friends anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, get over yourself. The show was 2 weeks ago. No one knows who you are anymore, Bryce, and they're not listening to your podcast either.
I will say, Bruno, and this leads us back to you, I do love it when people are desperate to let you know when someone's having a go at you. Hey, Rob, did you know this person's saying this about you? You know what? I was happy today, and you've just brought me down. Thanks for that.
I had a journalist block me.
Oh,
really? Which one?
Yeah. I think like James Weir or someone, and I'm like, I don't know what I did to you. Like, I think you're hilarious, and I read all your stuff, and I'm like, I tried to be like, tweet them and be like, I think that this is brilliant, and I was like, wait, I'm blocked? Like, I don't understand. And then I blocked some like bitchy actresses that were just like too stupid to debate with. So.
I will say, Bruno, I usually only block fake accounts or people who've really pissed me off, and there are some high-profile people that have pissed me off.
Now, listen, the reason I mentioned this, and look, initially in my mind when I threw it out there as to whether you guys had experienced that, I was just expecting a little, haha. Why do you ask Bruno instead of the monologue? Which is great, by the way.
Sorry, take
Don't get me wrong. Don't.
Why do you ask Bruno?
We're celebrities, yeah.
Now, the reason I ask is
does he know what show he's on?
A few days ago on Reddit, on the big Ask Reddit forum, there was a thread that came out which was basically which celebrity has blocked you on social media and why. Now, these discussions end up having like tens of thousands of comments. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd pick out the ones that gave me a little bit of a chuckle, or that I thought would be worth commenting on, and we'd have a little bit of a look. So we start off, guys, with Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil. My friend got blocked by Dr. Phil on Instagram because she commented daddy on one of his posts. Ooh, that sucks.
He's got a daddy vibe going.
That makes me
He
laugh.
really does have a daddy vibe going. And you kind of
Would
wonder
you call him daddy?
if like... But you wonder if Dr. Phil's looking at his phone and he's kind of like... Maybe he's not reading it as like, daddy. Maybe he's reading it as like, Oh,
paternity
I could be
suit.
this person's father. Block.
Yes, indeed. What's the next one?
What just happened?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. During segments, I sometimes look at what's going on the social media pages, and I turned, and next thing I know, it was quiet. I don't know if there was a show. I don't know what happened. So...
No, it's whatever. We can move on. All right, the next one.
Please.
Kevin Hart. Oh, he's a funny guy with a sense of humour. Kevin Hart couldn't block anyone. Someone got blocked for tweeting in the word pineapple 1,727 times. Now, that's fair enough, don't we think? That's sort of like borderline spamming.
I blocked that person.
That is spamming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's blockable.
Blocked.
Yep, justified.
Justified. Yeah. Boom. All right, next one. Billy Zane, big celebrity. Billy Zane.
I love him.
And here, my husband was blocked by Billy Zane for uploading a portrait that he painted of Billy Zane wiping mustard on his face with a bratwurst on a fork. Actually, I have a picture of that portrait. It's very good, isn't it?
I don't know what's offensive about
I
that.
blocked that.
But
It looks like
apparently,
a dick
Billy
drumming on his
Zane...
head.
Yeah, Billy
what's that
Zane
thing
had
touching
no
his
time for that
forehead?
and blocked the person that did that portrait, which is very unfortunate. I think that's a masterpiece.
I would have made it my profile pic.
Yeah, I actually hit up Billy Zane yesterday, just asking him if that was in fact correct. But I haven't heard back, nor am I blocked yet. So if that changes, I'll let everyone know. But
Billy Zane is also an artist, though.
Oh, so you
Is
didn't
he?
like the art.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So maybe he got a bit jealous over how good that was, and it just like, I can never be as good as the bratwurst fork mustard wipey white photo. That makes sense.
To me, it looks sexual. That to me, I'm getting very sexual vibes from that.
It doesn't look like a bratwurst.
It looks
Guys,
like me on a Saturday.
What part of it? I don't understand what part of it looks sexual. Explain it to me further.
Maybe
Okay, hang on.
Being a different colour, and then the weird swipey stuff all over
Guys,
his face. I mean,
it's a
he's
sausage. It's
basically-
not a penis.
The sausage got
He's
too
being turkey
excited.
slapped.
Guys, not
Okay,
every-
moving on.
Being turkey slapped.
John Howard's going to pull us off the internet with that kind of talk.
Guys, what about Dolly Parton? What? I was blocked by Dolly Parton after I asked if she was related to the Dalai Lama.
Oh,
what
come
a
on.
dumb thing to
That's
write.
funny. Dolly. Although,
I
you know
don't
it's
know.
not Dolly blocking, it's the social media team. Dolly would laugh at that.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Yeah, I thought that was a bit harsh. All right, what about Gordon Ramsay? He's got a bit of a temper. And so I was 13 and I asked him if I could be on MasterChef because I make good ramen noodles. Oh, that's a bit harsh. A 13-year-old who makes good ramen noodles blocked. Come on, Gordon, you're better than that.
No,
Did he really know it was a 13-year-old? There's a lot of adults who pretend to be 13-year-olds.
That's a whole different... there's an investigation unit for that.
All right, guys. What about the rapper Ice Cube? Yes, Ice Cube. He's a tough guy. So someone told him that if he was in this area, he could come smoke a blunt with him. And Ice Cube replied, "Don't do drugs," and blocked him.
Good message.
What? That's a great message. Once again, I think that Ice Cube was justified in doing that block. Very good. Guys, what about, do you guys know the DJ Deadmau5? Are you guys cool? Do you guys know the EDM scene? Do you know Deadmau5?
No.
I have no idea who that is. Is that like a DJ that spins the decks?
Well, no, he wears this big thing on his head, as you can see, and he DJs. Yeah, he's really big. Look, your cool viewers will know who Deadmau5 is.
I've seen him live. He was at.
He was memorable.
He did a thing. He was terrible. He was at a thing in Palm Beach. They do this music event every year, and they have 3 stages set up. And like we saw him for a minute, we walked to another stage.
It was no good.
It was not my thing. I mean, he was brilliant. It's just not my thing.
Anyway.
Well, you know, to add insult to injury, Deadmau5 blocked someone after they asked if they could, if he could DJ the 8-year-old's birthday party. That kind of sucks. I mean, hey, worth inquiring about. Like, why not?
Absolutely. You never know.
As
It could
long
have
as you're
been
paying, who cares?
Could have been a rich Saudi who would have paid $1 million.
Hey, not bad. Hey, what about the Westboro Baptist Church? Those guys are always pretty tolerant. So someone programmed a script that tweeted them gay porn every 666 seconds. That's genius. How do I get my hands on that script?
I love that.
And how do I reduce it? How do I reduce it?
How do we all do that?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's all go and troll their Instagram account now.
Hey, do you guys remember child star Amanda Bynes?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so someone told her that she should turn off her camera flash and the selfies would look better, and that was block.
Amanda.
That's me.
Amanda.
Maybe she was having a bad day. Like, honestly, there are times where I love a good debate, and there are times where I am just PMSy or whatever, and I'm just like, no, screw you, block.
Yeah.
You're not in the mood.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Now, listen, our last celebrity is the most complained about celebrity when it comes to blocking. Can anyone have a guess as to who that could be?
No idea.
No, I feel like it's going to be someone very grumpy, very, very angry. Carl Sanderlands. Oh.
Well, he's not on social media, so close.
Yeah, you'd have to use social media for that.
Yeah. Look, it's William Shatner.
Oh,
and there are so
his
many
Twitter
complaints.
Does he even have Twitter?
Well, yeah,
no,
apparently.
He's brilliant. He debates people all day long.
He's
Like,
great.
I'm like, does he ever go to sleep? He is constantly on Twitter.
There is 90 years of anger in that man, and he's letting it all out on Twitter.
Well, there's obviously a lot of victims here because if we look at the first one, you'll note that he does not being referred to as Slick Willie. That is a big no-no. Someone got the old block for calling him Slick Willie, which I think is actually a very nice name. And everyone's more than welcome to call me Slick Willie. I'll take up that one.
I don't know how I feel about calling you Slick Willie. Like, again, to me, it's very sexual, Bruno. If I start calling you Slick
That
Willie...
brings me back to the Billy Zane picture.
I don't understand what part of Slick Willie could possibly be misinterpreted as dirty. I don't understand.
No, because we've been talking about daddies. You've got the beard thing going. It's looking very sexy. Then that photo pops up. Then you want to be called Slick Willie. I'm just putting it all in one basket.
I think the problem is, Jason, you find a sexual innuendo anywhere.
Guys, I have a second complaint about Mr. William Shatner. We've got another one. I asked William Shatner if it was true that he's an asshole who replied yes and blocked.
And that is the perfect response. Bruno, we love you and we look forward to seeing you on Thursdays from next week in our brand new Once a Week show. Thank you, mate. We'll see you next week.
Can't wait. Have a lovely evening. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
It's the Red Light Shot of the Day. Where are you going today? You never know where you'll end up with the Red Light Shot of the Day.
And today we're taking you to Iceland. That is a live shot of an active volcano. And there has been some wonderful pictures coming through. I'm hoping we'll get a big gush as it explodes because it's just amazing. I love the fact people go and set up cameras for these things. It's just wonderful. This volcano has been dormant for nearly 6,000 years. The Fagradalsfjall volcano in Iceland began erupting on March 19. As of April 16th, the scale of the eruption has now grown to 7 fissures, and the valley has nearly been filled with lava. So yeah, it's a big one. It's going to be a partly cloudy day today, with a low of -1 and a high of 7. Let's get some feedback coming through to the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. And there's lots of feedback about our new format of Once a Week, with Janelle saying, once a week is better than nothing. I thank you for everything you do. Matthew says, I must admit, I still like the show better at lunchtime, though. I understand, but it will be earlier. So the people who are complaining about it being late, it will be 8 o'clock. So you will be A-OK. Rod Morris says, I'm amazed at how good a show you guys have turned out with such limited resources for such a long time. You should be a textbook case for all future TV news and review shows. Much love, guys. Oh, that's a really nice comment. Matthew says, it's actually astonishing when you think about it how much the show has been able to achieve on an oily rag as a daily show. And absolutely. Jason says, I was getting stressed out doing a wrap-up every day, 4 days a week. I can spend 6 hours a day, 6 hours on them. Jason, stop. You don't need to do a full review of every episode. A couple of highlights would be fine, but I do love the work you do. Big Brother Oz said, Eddie Maguire said he will pull some strings and get this show live on free-to-air TV late at night. Wouldn't that be amazing? Tariq asks, will all the segments be moving to Thursday like Joe's movie reviews? The short answer is yes. Michael says, looking forward to the new ARR Super Show from next week. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Good news is that every show is a Tipsy Thursday. Small tip for you. For Robbo, every show was a Tipsy Thursday. Remember, the hashtags don't change. You can get us on Twitter at the ARR Show, Facebook and YouTube. And for Instagram and the like, just search Ange Rob Robbo. All right. Now it's time to find out what's happening in the world of entertainment with Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hello. Hasn't this been a fun show? I love chatting with Bruno before. He's quite lovely.
Yeah, and now you know why his segments can go on a while, because there's just so much gold. Hey, Jason, Sam Newman has spoken about the death of his wife. This is a heartbreaking story.
It's absolutely awful. So Sam found his wife of 6 months, Amanda Newman, mind you, they've been together for years, on the floor of their Melbourne apartment. So he's walked in, he was hanging out with friends, he's walked into the apartment, she's on the floor, he's rung 000 and performed CPR on her for 20 to 30 minutes. He's now taken to his You Cannot Be Serious podcast to speak about this moment and what his wife meant to him. Now, while Sam spoke from his heart about his wife, he also read out some thoughts he had prepared earlier. Here's a small part of what he had to say.
It's been 24 hours since I wrote this. It's been 24 hours since I arrived home and found dear Amanda lying on her side on the tiles beside the laundry. She was not fully clothed, and as the television was on in the bedroom, I presume she'd got up to grab a bite or go to the bathroom. She looked so gentle and calm and innocent, but somehow I knew instantly she was dead. It's difficult to describe the feeling of having the 000 number on speaker phone while the operator talked me through the CPR technique, which I continued for a futile 30 minutes while waiting for the ambulance. This is by no means a criticism of the instructions or the time the ambulance took to arrive, but more the desperation of feeling completely helpless as the woman I married 6 months ago ceased to be.
I mean, that was absolutely awful to listen to, and it goes for 17 minutes, and he, of course, struggled to get through that statement. In fact, he said multiple times he probably wouldn't upload the podcast as he just needed to speak about Amanda, even if nobody heard it. Of course, Sam's always been a polarising figure, and even if there are some people out there that thinks he deserves this tragedy in his life, to me, he certainly does it, and, you know, my prayers and thoughts are with him. It's a terrible time.
It was interesting, wasn't it, Jason, because I listened to the full 17 minutes, and it was interesting that he thought there would be people out there that would be happy to see him going through such tragedy, and I certainly hope there's no one out there like that. He's probably right.
I don't think there'd be anyone. I mean, this is a man who's just lost his wife of 6 months. They were together for over 20 years. I mean, there surely wouldn't be anyone in Australia right now that would say no one deserves this. He deserves all our love and our support, and my heart breaks for him and his family.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah.
So, back to something nicer. What's the latest on the Bill and Melinda Gates divorce?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm reading all about this. So people, of course, they've revisited, they've been talking about Bill Gates. He's separating with his wife. There is no prenup, and we're talking like $130 billion. But what is fascinating about this is that people are now bringing up the fact that every year Bill Gates had an unusual relationship with his ex, Anne Winlad. And basically in 1997, he told The Time that even after their split, he's maintained the tradition of an annual trip to her beach cottage in North Carolina. So this is every year he has a trip with his ex-girlfriend. And Anne has said, we share our thoughts about the world and ourselves. We marvel about how, as two young overachievers, we began a great adventure on the fringes of a little-known industry, and it landed us at the center of our amazing universe. I find this completely odd and bizarre. He was married, but yet every year he goes on a trip away with his ex-girlfriend, and apparently his wife, Bill Gates' wife Melinda, he knew this was the thing that he requested when he got married. I could not do that. If I'm with someone, you are not hanging around your ex-partners, your ex-girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends. You're with me at all times.
Do you know, there is a movie called Same Time Next Year with Alan Alda that is exactly that, where this he and this lady for decades catch up at the same time each year at this holiday home, and they have their 2-week affair each year. And it tells the story about how they grow and how later on in life it becomes less about the sex and their politics, and it's actually a very interesting movie. Same Time Next Year. Recommended by Rob.
I'm going to say, I reckon there's more to this because it was Bill Gates' wife that filed for divorce. The details haven't come out as to why, but she's come out and said that there were differences they couldn't agree on. So I have a feeling that more is going to come as to why they've broken up, because it was a long marriage. They had 3 kids. They've got all this money to separate. I mean, what a life.
Maybe you're right.
My thing is they were the ones who started the whole, the Giving Foundation, where they were talking about that all the rich people should give away all of their money. And now all the billionaires are getting divorced. And I'm wondering if they've suddenly realized that, hey, we don't want to give away our money, so let's all get divorced on paper. And that way we can claim that all the money went to spouses and we don't have to give it away.
Yeah, and they're giving it to the lawyers at the moment. At this point, that's who they're giving it to, the lawyers.
They can afford.
And the same lawyer representing Bill Gates represented... what's his name? That other rich guy.
Bezos? Yeah.
Yes, him. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jason, the Netflix series Byron Bays is in development. It's receiving a lot of controversy, but now some cast have been revealed.
Yeah, it hasn't been officially announced yet. The Confidential has leaked some of their names. A former Love Island contestant, Elias Chigros, a former Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise star, Nathan Favreau, and a sales director of popular brand Silk Laundry, Saskia Watton. They are going to be in the cast. They're all so beautiful. They're all so pretty. They're going to be shirtless and just walking the beach, and it's just going to be another reality show for us to watch.
It's everything I feared this show would be.
Another trashy reality show like we need more. We've got Bachelor, Love Island, Bachelorette.
Sarah will love it.
Oh no, just give us something with a bit of substance, for goodness sakes. How many times can I watch a naked man just waltz around and be like, "Hi, do you want to marry me?" No one cares anymore.
Sorry, I've just got Robbo on the line. He's saying there is no limit.
It'll be good tourism propaganda. Everyone will want to come to Australia. It's fine. But I hear it's also the end of an era at TBS.
Yeah, so Conan is ending his late night run, and this is what he had to say on his show.
I did want to talk about something important here at the very top of the show, As some of you have heard, it's been out there for a while now, but we're making it official. We are winding down our TBS show. The plan is to reemerge on HBO Max sometime in the near future with, I think, what will be my 4th iteration of a program. Our last episode here at TBS will be on June 24th. Now, the plan is we're going to be showing a lot of clips of our favorite moments from the last 11 years. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to create, I think, a really fun, special environment. And it's going to be, I think, a lot of fun.
So he will, of course, instead be hosting a weekly variety series on HBO Max. As he said, he's been there for 11 years, and after David Letterman's retirement, he became the longest working of all the current late-night talk show hosts in the US. I actually love him. I'm sad that he's going. David Letterman, Jay Leno, he's gone. There's no one there anymore.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon. Stephen Colbert. Samantha Bee. Trevor Noah.
The thing is they're all very, very political. They're not just comedy anymore. They've all gone so far political, where I think Conan just kind of kept it
John
light.
Oliver. There's a few out there, Jason. But anyway, Conan is a big deal. It's hard to believe he's been at TBS for 11 years, considering I still remember like yesterday when he walked away from the NBC show when Jay Leno,
screwed him over.
When Jay Leno, that's what happened. Conan took over the Tonight Show. Jay Leno came back, and Conan was. They said you're going to move you back to 12:30. Yeah. So it was basically like the old format. So it was an amazing thing. Read about it. That's an amazing episode. Jason, thank you very much for the latest in entertainment. Sarah.
Can we just say to all the millions of viewers that don't want to watch Conan now, they don't know where to go, come and watch the Ange, Rob and Robbo show.
We stream it in America.
There's a 1-hour show now,
And I mean, Sarah had to get up at 5 in the morning for this, but anyway. Sarah, in Texas, thank you very much. We love you. And are you coming back tomorrow?
If you'd like me to. I guess I got to get all my episodes in now before you do your one a week and your actual real people show up.
All right, Sarah, you're in tomorrow. Angie's not here tomorrow. No. So I love having an on-air production meeting. We will see you tomorrow without Jason, because you don't do Thursday. Yep. I'm confused. Jason, we will see you for our first edition of the Thursday Night Super Show. You're going to
dress up.
And you know what's great about that? Jason always complains about the fact he misses out on Tipsy Thursday. So, Jason, you'll be part of the party.
I'm bringing a bottle.
Wait, do I get mimosas?
You do?
Yeah.
Sarah, we'll see you tomorrow for Tipsy Thursday, and we'll have another big edition. All right, everybody, good night. I'm rambling.
Rob and Robbo Show.